And I think we're live. All right. Hi, guys. Good evening.
Hey, how we doing?
I'm Laura Smith, and tonight I have a special guest with me this evening. This is sort of rare and unusual, and I'm not sure it will ever happen again. And I'm surprised I didn't have to give him a drink or something to get him to do this. But this is my husband, Grant, and he's joining me as my guest. So I'm so excited. So I'm going to be, this is totally not prepared or rehearsed, and I'm just going to be asking him some questions. The reason I wanted to go live tonight relates to a post I made last night about my 7th Journey with the Ultimate Reset program that I am, Mike Kinney. Hey, Mike. This is unusual, right? This is so exciting to see him like live on Facebook. My husband has a Facebook.
First and last.
Yeah, my husband has a Facebook account, but he doesn't really even use it. So this is like a huge deal. So I'm very appreciative. But I put a post up last night about doing the Ultimate Reset again. And this is a program that's focused solely on nutrition. And it lasts for 3 weeks. And this will be my 7th round of the reset. So I posted the results I got last year and kind of a little bit about why I was doing it again. It's a program I usually do once a year. Well, the program's been out for a while. I've done it 6 times, and the first year I did it 2 times, like 4 times in 2 years, basically. And this guy watched me do it. So my last 2 resets, my husband has done with me, and I thought it would be really cool to bring him on, tell you a little more about why we do this. I'm extremely passionate about it. I'm not sure that he's passionate about it, but he goes along with it, and he's had some great results, and just, you know, I wanted you to hear it from him. But so he's done it the last 2 times with me, and we're getting ready to do it again next week. So just to give you a brief overview, and you can contact me if you want even more detail. But the reset is a 21-day cellular detox program, basically. But it's kind of like a tour through the some amazing fresh whole foods for 3 weeks. It's not like a juice cleanse. You get to eat a lot of real wonderful food, but it does require some discipline. It's very structured. You get, you know, a guidebook for day 1, day 2. There's a little white glare on that, so it's hard to see, but you know, it's very specific in terms of your menu. Obviously, since we're more experienced with it, we can kind of gear some of our choices to the things we already know that we like most, and every time we do it, it gets a little bit easier. But it is a big commitment, and we have found that doing it kind of before the holiday instead of waiting until we feel like crap in January from maybe overindulging over the holidays, it just puts us in a better kind of mindset going into the holiday. And last year we didn't do it in January because we felt good. I mean, I think we handled the holidays and all the things that come along with it a little bit better when it came to our nutrition and taking care of ourselves after this experience. And obviously, having my spouse finally kind of come on board and do this with me made it a different and more meaningful experience for me. And when you're doing something this structured, it's a whole heck of a lot easier to have somebody in the house doing it with you. So if you're just jumping on the video live or recorded, my name is Laura Smith, and my company is Live Big Fitness, and I help you raise the bar on your fitness and nutrition, and in turn improve other areas of your life. And so what we're talking about tonight is really next level nutrition. This is as far as I go and as deep as I go into nutrition. And the reset really, it's almost a spiritual experience, as crazy as that sounds, as much as it is a physical one, because it really gets you so in tune with how food affects how you feel every single day, because you're just solely focused on that. And then coming out of it, you can really discover maybe what foods don't make you feel well, and you might have something that you think is wrong with you, or a symptom you know, that you didn't realize was related to the food you eat every day, and you can figure it out with this program. So I wanted to ask Grant to come on with me and just answer some questions, and I thought that his perspective on it would be really interesting. And like I said, this really isn't rehearsed at all. So so what I want to ask him is, so he watched me do 4 resets basically by myself, which it's not that the family can't eat any of the food, it's just that it might there might be some things about it that aren't appealing to a family. There might be a little too many veggies in it for the kids to really want to eat, you know, that kind of thing. And it is a program that over the course of 3 weeks, we phase out. It's great because it doesn't cut you cold turkey, but you start out eating like a little bit of chicken, a little bit of salmon, a little bit of meat, a little bit of dairy. And the second week, those things go away and you're left with fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains. And then the third week, the legumes go away and it's basically fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. So it phases you down to a vegan way of eating. So especially in the latter parts, you know, unless your family is vegetarian, vegan, it might not be something that's as family friendly. So again, my family watched me do it 4 times before they jumped in. So when I was doing this, like, what did you think?
Well, when you first do it, I thought, oh my goodness, she's crazy. And I'm never going to do this. But after watching Laura go through it and seeing the results she had, she wasn't going to ask me if I want to do it. And because she asked me every time, and the answer was always, no, I can't do that. You know, if I'm traveling, it doesn't fit, it doesn't work. So then finally I decided to give it a whirl. And really it's not that hard for me because I've got a person built in who's doing it that does all the food prep. So that was the easy part for me that kind of pushed me over the edge because I didn't have to do the prep. And I made one other stipulation, and that was that I could keep doing Shakeology every day. So that was just something that I wanted to do. I'm sold on it. I love it, and that was the one stipulation that I made. Can I keep doing my shake? So I did that. We overcame some challenges, like if I'm going to be gone for 3 days, we make some sacrifices as far as, well, Laura makes the sacrifices as far as prepping stuff that I can put in the cooler, take with me, but also just figuring out what you can eat on the road, what you can eat out. The first week is not that bad. You can still eat certain things from restaurants and things of that nature. Week 2, you get into some different foods that I hadn't tried, which was an adjustment, but we made it through. So that wasn't too bad. Laura kept asking me if I was doing all right. You know, did my body feel different or anything like that? Was I having any headaches or anything like that? And I really didn't, and that was great.
Yeah, his detox was pretty mild. So
I didn't have any big issues, and it's not because I do a great job from a healthy food eating standpoint. It's
well, it probably has something. I'm probably his reflection of the fact that you eat fairly well.
Well, yeah, I don't exercise.
And you
like
might have just gotten lucky. Well, yeah,
but,
that's another video.
So I got to the 3rd week the first time, and I was like, okay, this is not bad. But then it kind of got to be a challenge, and it was a challenge. And I was like, listen, I've got this far. I can get the rest of the way. So I looked at it more of a challenge to get it done because I think Laura didn't think I would see it to the end. And I did. So
actually, I knew he would because I kind of threatened him. I mean, I kind of said, okay, like it is an investment. You do some supplements along with it. So you purchase a kit, and it's for everything that you get. It's actually probably one of the more economical things that you can do of this caliber. But at the same time, you make an investment in those supplements. And I'm a coach, but I'm still making that investment in us. Right. And not to mention, like, I'm a coach, so if I take on something that I'm doing, I want to be able to talk about it and complete it, and it's a credibility thing for me, and, you know, whether he likes it or not, it's sort of like, if he takes on something, I want him to finish it. So he did a great job, though. He really did. Now, were you hungry?
A couple times I was. I mean, thinking back to it, there were times where I was hungry, but, you know, you got to deal with it. Mentally, you made a decision, you gotta stick with it. So I think in the last week I was hungry. If I remember correctly, week 1 maybe a little bit, week 2 not so much, but week 3, yes, I was hungry. But
you were in the home stretch.
I was in the home stretch, and
so talk about your, like, I know you've had 2 sets of results now, but talk about just generally, what was your average weight loss each time? It was pretty impressive, I think.
Between 10 and 15 pounds.
Yeah. And I think the first time it was like 15 or 16. And then I think the second time it was 13. I don't know why I remember that. But those numbers just stick in my head.
I don't remember that. But that's the other reason why I'm going to do it again. Because I probably have I've gotten a little laxed in my healthy eating and definitely don't exercise enough. So I got a couple pounds that I need to shed. So that's another
Right.
motivation for me to do it.
The Reset isn't really a weight loss program. It really is a detox program, but weight loss, when you stick with the program, is almost always kind of a bonus result. And if you have weight to lose, typically if you keep on a healthy path, you keep it off. I'm somebody that's maintained a more significant weight loss for really 6 years now, but at the same time, I can vary by 5 to 10 pounds, and typically I'll do the reset when I'm up a little and want to come back down, and again, doing that kind of thing, and really just getting ourselves like focused on food as far as how it makes us feel, and how eating well makes us feel so good every single day, and the difference that can make in your life. It really kind of, I think, helps center us before the holiday where things get busy and crazy, and there's food that isn't great for you like everywhere in abundance, and it just kind of keeps you focused on the difference that everyday great nutrition can make. And it's just great to be able to we have, no matter how well you eat or how much you take care of yourselves, your body collects toxins from the environment every single day. So it's great to be able to literally reset your body and clean those out at least once or twice a year. So, but it's more meaningful because if you do this kind of thing as a couple or with somebody that you live with, obviously it's easier. Now I do prep. It's just as easy for me to prep food for him as it is just for me. But we've kind of got it down to a science where like I know the things that he likes, and there is some choice in terms of the different things that we make. And so, and this time I might even ask, like, I mean, he's good in the kitchen, so it's really, I think that
I'm out of town on Saturday.
oh yeah, he'll be traveling at all these convenient times. But every time we do it, it gets easier, and we can kind of flex it to our needs a little while still following the program. So it's pretty cool.
I would definitely say the second time was easier, just because familiarity with it, you knew what to expect.
Yeah. So he's going to do it again with me starting next week. What do you think your favorite, like overall, what's the most significant, like positive part of it for you?
Well, I would say I definitely feel better, okay, after going through it. There's no question about it. You feel recharged, okay, just because you've obviously cleansed all the toxins out of you. And then it's like, then it's another challenge and a goal to try and stick with a good program. I think the hard part for me is summertime, spring and summer. You're on the go so much that you get off track. Whether if it's being at a sports tournament out of town with our son, or whether if it's traveling or vacationing or whatever.
Being at the lake.
I think the vacation is the one that really got me off track. And
was that like spring break?
Yeah, I never got back on track. So, but it's a challenge to, after you do it, to say, okay, yes, we did make that investment to do it. We put the time into it. We put the money into it. Let's continue on with it. And that's what I'm looking forward to.
Okay, so Shelly's on. Shelly Metalliano. He's like, when I started talking to him that people may jump on, he's like, what? It's so not understanding that. And J6, hey J6, Heather Honer, hey, girl, we'll see you on Friday. And Amanda Freeze is on too, so one of my friends and coaches. It's good to see you guys. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments. If you catch this recording lately and you have any questions about what we're doing, we always like to have people do it along with us. I've coached many groups through the program. It is something that it's helpful to have some extra support to do, especially when you're doing it the first time. It's probably most challenging the first time, but it's so rewarding. You definitely have to be ready for it, and you have to be committed, but it's so rewarding. What advice would you have for somebody who is either getting ready to do it or maybe just kind of considering? What advice would you have? Because it might be, your perspective's different than
I would tell them that any questions you do have, get in touch with Laura and lean on her, okay? Because there's if you're prepared for it, it's really not that difficult. And I've watched what she's done through every one of these, and whether if it's the amount of water that you have to drink, or whether if it's the different foods that you have to have for each week. If you're willing to commit the time and be organized and prepared, then it really goes pretty seamlessly. And there's been situations where I've traveled when doing it and have made it through it. And it's all about being prepared. And she's a great resource. I mean, I see what she does all the time, and I've seen her coach some other people through this, and they come back and they've said the same thing. It's really not that hard, and especially when you got someone to lean on to give you all the tips how to get through it.
Yeah, and Grant works from home now, so that might make it, he'll be traveling some this round. We're not always sure of his schedule like the full week before, but so I think it'll be even easier for us this time because we'll actually like be together, and I remember Mike's on, and I remember when you were going to Kenny or going to an office, like I'm like packing his lunch, which I'm like, we've got kids, and I help one of them pack their lunch, but it's super easy because she's older, so I'm like, okay, I gotta pack another lunch. Like I felt like I had a toddler again. So I was, I'm kind of glad that for the most part, I don't think I'll have to be packing your lunch and sending you out the door this time. But it can be a lot more economical done with a couple of people too, because it's sometimes hard to cook just for one.
Right.
And there's nothing hard. There's nothing hard about the food prep. It's just probably more time that you normally spend in the kitchen. I think our funniest problem from like me doing it without him those first couple times was the dishwasher. Like he would come home and the dishwasher, I mean, we'd have to run the dishwasher like a couple times a day just because I'm, especially the first couple times, because now I make it super easy and I prep like a bunch of the same thing type thing, like less dishes. But the first time I was trying all the food and maybe even went a little bit overboard, and I can make it so much easier for first timers now. But I had to go through it myself to figure that out. And I remember him coming home and the dish.
No, the whole kitchen was
like
a disaster.
And
I was like, what the hell is going on?
He's like, what are you doing? So now even I've gotten a little better about it. And so one of my pleasures is making it so much easier. Like you won't have to figure out nearly as much as I had to figure out the first time. So
I agree with that.
Yeah. All right. So we've probably gone on long enough, but I appreciate our little audience tonight. And if you're catching this later and you have any questions about the Ultimate Reset or even want to jump in and start, it might be too late to start with us on Monday, but you could even start, Wednesday or start that following week, and I can help you prep next week. There's time to do it, before the holiday, before Thanksgiving. I loved being on the Reset last year over Halloween. It was literally the first time in 46 years. Well, no, I didn't eat candy when I was like a baby, but literally the first time in over 40 years that I did not have one single piece of like chocolate or Halloween candy. And that's the thing. It's interesting because even when I'm on other programs, there'll be times when I don't want to say cheat, but I'll splurge or, it's harder for me to be 100% like true to other programs. But when I do this program, I don't know if it's just the additional work and time, a little bit more investment, the supplements or something. Like I don't want to mess it up. I want to get the most benefit possible. And I think that Grant's that way too. I think anybody that does it, when you jump into this, it's a different level of commitment. So you're so on it. And I know Shelly's on, and she and Jason, have done it and have experienced that too. So a lot of and again, it's just easier if you have somebody in the house doing with it, but the level of commitment, and it's really cool to kind of have that level of commitment and focus, and then coming out of it, I don't know, your resolution to be healthier and to understand how everything you put in your body is important and something you need to think about. So that's great too. But if all this sounds like a little too much, we didn't talk about, I probably should have said one of the main reasons, or one of the big, like on the plus side to doing this program with me, is when I told him it does not involve exercise. That's an area we're still kind of working on. So I told him he didn't have to exercise, and like he was in, right? Because when your body's detoxing, if you're exercising too and your body's in recovery mode, then it kind of fights, he might not even know this, it fights with the detox. It doesn't allow your body, there's too many things going on in your body at once, and the detox isn't effective. So it really is a period of rest. It's great to get outside and walk. Depending on your fitness level, a little yoga or PYO could be good. And I have this brand new program, and I even got him doing it, so this is huge, called the 3-week yoga retreat. And it's actually a free offering on Beachbody On Demand, and it's an amazing program, you guys. And I don't even like yoga, but I'm actually excited to give my body a 3-week rest, but I will be doing the 3-week yoga retreat, and I'm inviting some people to do the 3-week yoga retreat along with me while I go through this reset. Whether you're resetting or not, everybody needs a little bit of yoga in their life, and I know I need it, but I don't always love it. But I really like this program because it's so basic. You've done a few of them.
I've done.
What do you think?
7 days.
I didn't even know he'd done 7 days.
Yeah.
Look, we got a thumbs up. See, somebody gives a thumbs up.
I don't.
Let's cross the screen.
I don't let her know when I'm doing it.
I know, he does it like in secret. He does it in secret. He won't do it with me, and I'm like, yeah.
So it's
I have no idea when he even does it, because we're like together a lot lately, so I
Yeah.
have no idea.
That's good.
Yeah, and what felt better?
My shoulder.
I know he's got like a bum shoulder that they've determined there's nothing that they can really do about it, but it's kind of from an injury and they can't really fix it. Surgery's futile, and all of a sudden his shoulder feels better because he's been doing the 3-week yoga retreat. Yay. So we're getting there, folks. But so yeah, if you're interested in hopping in and just doing some yoga with me for 3 weeks and maybe just learning more about this program while I do it, I can help you with other areas of your nutrition too. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate him for being on, because this is like a really big deal. This is a really big stretch for him, and he learned a lot tonight about what I do. I think when I got a new ring light, you guys might be able to see we're very well lit, and this came the other day and he was like, what are we doing? And then my son actually came in and saw my ring light, and he's like, Mom, you got a ring light? He goes, the YouTubers have ring lights. And I'm like, well, yeah, you know, your mom's kind of cool. She goes live on her Facebook page. So I think I like went up a notch with our son tonight. So thank you, hon. All right, you guys, thanks for tuning in. It's been fun. If you have any questions about the Ultimate Reset, the 3-week yoga retreat, or just anything you want to ask my silent partner and I'd be glad to check out those comments later and answer them as I get to them, or you can message me through this page. So thank you so much, you guys. Have a great evening.